St Catherine's Dock, central London. Once extremely busy, goods coming in from around the world, now it's a tourist attraction. And today it's the stunning backdrop for a very special collection of little ships. All these vessels have one thing in common. They all sailed from southern England to Dunkirk in northern France between the 26th of May and 4th of June 1940 to help save the British Army. By that time, British, French and other Allied soldiers had become trapped by the advancing Germans, the sea their only way out. These little ships, as they became known, enabled an unlikely escape. And I've come to look at some of them to understand just how different their backgrounds are. Jane Percival is going to show me Moonraker. This is a beautiful sailing yacht, surely not a ship that went to Dunkirk.
Most people think it's very odd that a boat this small and of this type had anything to do with Operation Dynamo. The records show that she went to Dunkirk. Most people said, well, how could she be used to rescue troops? And the only thing that we can suppose is from pictures of other small vessels like this, she must have been used as a platform, towed by a bigger boat. Because she's so low to the water, it'd be very easy to climb on board this and then board a bigger boat from the side of this.
This fine gentleman's cruiser used to belong to Spitfire pilot and TV presenter Raymond Baxter, now in the custody of John Calvert.
We were sitting at a traditional boat rally in Henley and reading the programme, and there was a picture of this boat for sale. And I very, very quickly bought it. It was derelict, it was in a terrible state. I got a few quotes from a few boat yards, had some terrible shocks.
In terms of the future, because every year that goes past, of course, Dunkirk's further away and there are fewer people that were there that can tell us anything about it.
Yeah.
But these ships can tell us about it, can't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
How vital is it that they continue?
Oh, English heritage, English, everything. Oh no, people should be reminded of the miracle that happened in 1940.
So we've seen a racing yacht and a beautiful cruiser. Next, something built with serious work in mind. What a contrast Endeavour is to some of the other ships here. She was built in 1926, is 36 feet long and is a cockle fishing boat. She and some of her sister ships were requisitioned by the Royal Navy and taken across to Dunkirk. They were ideal actually for getting the guys off the beach because of a very shallow draft of just 3'6". This boat was restored back in 2005 and is still operational even from time to time, getting those cockles in once more. Ian Gilbert's invited me to the flying bridge of his Dunkirk little ship, Lady Lou. And for him, like so many owners, keeping these ships alive helps open a window to the past when first-hand witnesses to Dunkirk have all but gone.
I think enhances the importance of the little ships because these now become the sole tangible link to what was an incredibly important part in our history. And if Dunkirk hadn't, the evacuation of Dunkirk hadn't gone the way it did, you and I could be speaking to each other in a different language now.
It really is a labour of love for the owners of these vessels, keeping them going so that people can learn more about what happened at Dunkirk. But sadly, their numbers are dwindling. 6 alone were lost last year. So when you get news that one has been restored, and in quite some style, it really is something to celebrate.
Welcome aboard Breda, a 1931 Dunkirk little ship.
Alain Lemens has had this ship completely restored in glorious Art Deco style.
She was part of Operation Dynamo and did 6 crossing, 3 successful, and on the last crossing she brought back a whole contingent of soldiers from the town of Breda. Plenty of stories from my grandfather. He was in the resistance and what he was doing is blowing up bridges and stealing food back from the Germans after they stole it from us. So it was, it's the war stories from Grandma and Grandpa have always been in my head and it's part of the childhood. So when this came along, the size of it appealed, the story behind it, the fact that it is a war hero in itself, all of these things combined is a motivation.
The events at Dunkirk should have been a complete disaster for Britain and the British military, and many argue should have heralded Hitler's success over these islands. But from defeat, these little ships helped turn the Dunkirk evacuation into a massive morale-boosting success for Britain.